an Illuminati. This might be the verse that make them drop me.
Welcome to Koki's Mind. We hope you enjoy your stay.
It is 2 p.m. I think. I woke up early, but I fell back asleep. I still want to go for a run, a jog. I'll go for a run after I eat.
What's up, guys? For these past couple weeks, I've really been on the move on self-improvement, trying to change my habits, being more productive and all that. This video is not scripted or anything, and it's just actually a bunch of things on my mind. Try my best to be concise about it, but something nice to listen to anyways if you're into these topics. I feel like many of my viewers, it's a wide mix. Like, many of you guys are already like-minded to me. We already think about these things. Some of you guys are even so spiritual, which is amazing. You're like super into meditation and stuff. But there is a pretty large group of you guys who don't or have never really thought about self-improvement in a realistic way. Like a productive way, a real way of it. I was talking to my friend Matcha earlier, Matcha Mochi. He worded this really beautifully, and I'm sure it comes from a book or somewhere, but I can't remember where. Your habits and the way you live is subconscious, right? The things you do the moment you wake up, the things you do when you are bored, etc. Like, those are all subconscious habits. So essentially, you live your life 95% subconsciously through habits. But once you acquire the knowledge, obviously practicing it is the next step, the most important thing, because like, what's good about it, right? If you don't put action into it, once you build the habits and you get used to it routinely, you start just being in those habits subconsciously. You start just living that life without thinking about it, and then your whole life changes. Self-improvement, productivity, all of these things are very hard. It's very, very hard. A nice way I like to look about literally anything is this: anything that is easy in this life will not give you great results, will not give you big results. If you think manifestation is magic, and it's something as simple as pouring water into another cup and then forgetting about it, and that's all you're doing, you're like, wow, this is so easy. I'm just gonna sit here and wait. I'm gonna be a millionaire tomorrow, or whatever it is that you want to be, whatever it is that you manifested. Good luck, because that's not gonna happen, I'll be honest with you. Manifestation is real. Manifestation already happens in your life. It's not magic, it's not taboo. Like, you already manifest a lot of things that you do without thinking about it. Again, subconsciously. Manifestation is all about being aware of the word and the action and what it really means. Because once you understand it, you can control it. And it's not easy, but it's real. TikTok ruined it, you know? Fuck TikTok. Something that's very important that allows me to think the way I do and just absorb this type of information very easily, and I think it can help you guys too. When it comes to self-improvement, spirituality, manifestation, any of these type of things, what really helps me absorb this information is this: the average person has the average opinion because they are average.
What Koki means by this is, if you find spirituality and all of that difficult to understand, there's a reason most people can't comprehend it.
Just because a group of people think they're right, just because more people are with one opinion, let's say for example on Twitter, when people are having an argument on Twitter, more people agree with one argument than the other, that does not mean that the popular argument is right. Sometimes it does. I'd say 50-50, if not, I don't know the statistic, but like, yeah, doesn't mean they're wrong, but it does not mean they're always right. Thinking for yourself is really important, and it's really important to nudge yourself once in a while and be like, yo, am I productively agreeing with these people? Am I thinking for myself? Or am I just agreeing because this is how most people think? And again, we do it subconsciously. We agree with the majority opinion. Even me being aware of all of this, I always, again, subconsciously, without thinking about it, start to agree with the majority opinions just because many people are saying it, and all I'm seeing are good arguments for these opinions, and then all the arguments on the other end are being buried. They're being like downvoted, let's say on Reddit, or they're just buried on Twitter because it has no likes. Majority opinions also snowball because once people start to agree with it, more and more people come rushing in agreeing with it. This is called mob mentality. Mob mentality is, I think, so annoying right now. Mob mentality is like one of the biggest problems that we have right now, especially on social media when we're trying to argue with each other. Because without thinking about it, we start to agree, we start to listen with the only things that we see and the things that we see the most. And then as soon as you see something that's slightly off than what the majority agrees with, oh dude, you're wrong. You're wrong. Here's why, because I have 10 reasons that other people have told me. And I don't know any arguments that you have. Just remember to think for yourself. The efforts that I put in to avoid these scenarios for myself is simply not using Twitter at all. Especially Twitter. I think Twitter has cool memes and everything, but it's gonna come to me anyways. So with the news on Twitter, right? I'm gonna see it anyways. It's gonna leak outside of Twitter. But I'm not going on Twitter to read people argue opinions. I'm not saying Twitter is trash. Twitter has educated me too. It's educated so many people. But all those things though, I can do it without Twitter. Because for me, a lot more bad comes from using Twitter than good without thinking about it. Again, the average person is average because they have average opinions. When I talk about the average person, I'm not saying these things to be cooler than them, but I'm saying these things because I'm trying to stray myself away as far as possible from the average person. Because the average person is not living the life that I want. As long as I'm the furthest possible away from it, that's good enough for me because I do not want to be in the middle percentile of that. Productivity videos, productive day in my life videos, those are the most surface level videos of self-improvement. It's for people who feel like they're being productive, they kind of want to self-improve, but they're too afraid to criticize themselves, to actually watch self-improvement videos. And then you get to a point where you're watching self-improvement videos, self-improvement videos, self-improvement videos, your whole feed is self-improvement. And if self-improvement videos start to become a hobby or a community or something, think about it for a second. Like, nothing's wrong with it. It's very important to constantly remind yourself about those teachings, but are you really self-improving? Like, are you practicing? Or are you just feeling productive? Or do you feel like you're improving because you're watching self-improvement videos? Like, after you watch this video, your mind might be smarter, but you didn't actually improve. So currently my steps that I'm doing to improve myself and the aspects that I want to improve on are all about building habits, getting used to it. My sleep schedule has been like 6 a.m. to whenever I have to wake up. So sometimes I'll get my 8 hours of sleep, I'll wake up at 3 p.m. Sometimes if I need to wake up at 9, at 10, I'll get 3 hours of sleep. So I am fixing that. I've been sleeping at 9 p.m., 10 p.m. whenever I feel tired. I tried to stop drinking coffee, but I have been having troubles because I wake up at like 2 or 3 a.m. and then I try to go back to sleep. But it's something I'm fixing. Something I'll update you guys on in the future. Organization. Another thing I'm trying to get into. I know many of you guys are into bullet journaling. I've seen bullet journaling over and over, and I always liked it because I really love ink. I really just like drawing. And for me, I use an iPad at school because writing things down are the best way for me to absorb info. So bullet journaling just makes all the sense for me to organize my thoughts, my ideas, and all that. But again, me saying these things, it doesn't mean anything if I don't actually tomorrow continue with this journal. If I don't actually fix my sleeping schedule.
Hi girlies, welcome to my Muji haul or what?
I used to work at Muji. But anyways, here's what I copped. I copped a few pens, some sticky notes so I can move around if I need to. The sticky notes are also for the books I'm reading. Pretty useful, highlighting things from books, sticky noting it. This little notebook is really cute. I actually usually buy like the smallest notebooks I can because I write very small and I think it's a lot easier to aesthetically fill it up, make it look pretty when it's small. I like the pages a lot too. They're just very, I don't even think you can see it, very light grids. I've been using Google Docs and my notepads on my phone for the longest time to put down notes and things like that, but having it physically written down, organizing it nicely at the beginning of each month to getting into the habit of pulling out the notebook and writing things down instead of using just my notes to randomly jot ideas down is very nice. It's gonna help me build routine and habit. The biggest motivation for me right now to self-improve is because I want to make better content on YouTube. The type of content I make on YouTube greatly depends on who I am as a person, how I think and what I'm doing with my life. Like, it's very hard to make videos if I'm just sitting at home doing nothing, because then YouTube videos and reality become separate. Because then I have to start thinking of video ideas in the middle of the week, pick up the camera, pick up my butt, start filming, editing, and then I take a break. I realize that's the worst way to film YouTube videos. I'll be making bad content and I'll be making content very slowly. My best YouTube videos I've made recently are because I've really put in the efforts to change, and that's just motivating me to continue on with it. Bullet journaling, fixing my sleep schedule. I hate reading books, but so does everyone else. You go look at anyone recommending books to you, they'll tell you they used to hate reading books too. Many of them, at least. I know obviously there's people who just love books. Many people do hate reading books, and I know many of you guys probably hate reading books too. That's probably like why you're on YouTube most of the time, maybe. The Power of Now, something that I have been familiar with. I've read a little bit through it. This one specifically, this one's called Practicing the Power of Now. But books, I've mentioned before, but it's a way to bring people into your circle. It's a way for you to gain the knowledge of people who have already made it, have already had it. It's crazy valuable information in a book, in a couple words, in some sentences. If you're not familiar at all with Eckhart's work, this book is a book of enlightenment. It just goes into it a little bit more concise, maybe paraphrases it a little bit more, literally practicing the power of now. Like, all of these things that I talk about are written way more beautifully by other people in books and who have experienced the change and growth firsthand. And I agree with it. Like, books are something I wish I've gotten on 2 years ago, but I'm happy that like I'm finally doing it. Again, it's another resource to learn from and to live by, to practice, etc. I'll probably make a video about meditation in the future if I can make it interesting somehow. There was a point in my life a couple years ago when I was actually meditating, and I do remember that when I was doing that, my mind was a lot more clear. It was just a lot easier to think and do things because of meditation, and that's something I want to get back into. I fell off of it because I never really built a habit for it. If you guys are doing things in your life, or you just have questions or you have input, yo, please just drop it down. Let other people know about it. Spread this energy around. Energy is pretty important for all of us when we try to do these things. Seeing other people do it, influencing other people, subconsciously gaining this energy from other people is very, very important. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this video, support it however, liking, subscribing. If you didn't like this video, that's cool with me. I'm just living my life. You're just living yours. It's the way it is. It's the way I life. C'est la vie. C'est la vie. That's life, right? C'est la vie. That's life. Yeah, for real. C'est la vie.
Slap that fat bell and help a small Asian boy out.